So you're going to visit a new karting track, maybe your first. I've done quite a bit of rental karting, so I've made this video to help you get started pushing out a good time. Let's get into it. Before you get on track, consider a few things that may help figuring out the track. When I go to a new track, I do the following things. I go on a busy day and I ask for a busy session. I tend to go on a Sunday afternoon because sessions are booked full with a bunch of casual drivers. All the good guys tend to go on a weekday when it's cheaper or when it's less busy, so that makes for a more relaxed exploration session where you can still overtake drivers. Then check what a mediocre time is. You should aim to getting to that time. Don't aim for the top times because unless you're a really good driver, you won't be getting them in these sessions. I usually aim for a time within the top 1000, but just focus on learning how the track works. And the final piece of preparation, check a track map, if possible. Most tracks have them on a whiteboard or maybe printed out, so go ask the staff whether they have one and check out all the corners. So once you're on track, you should take the exploration lap easy, let your tires warm, brake early. This leaves some room for you to explore the corners and not make any stupid mistakes that might hurt you. Progressively brake later, try to feel where steering alone slows you down enough. So this means to get familiar with the corners. I always tend to brake very early when I enter a corner the first time, because usually you don't really know how it feels to take the corner, what comes next. So this way you'll learn how to position yourself in those corners and line up for the next ones. So this one, for starters, is a bit counterintuitive, but learn how to exit corners so you go fast into the next bit of the track instead of trying to be fast everywhere. Some of the corners will follow up on each other quite fast, so you might need to be slower than you think in order to get out faster at the end of both corners. And you don't know this track well enough, so you might as well go in slower and exit faster and then focus on getting in faster and still maintaining the fastest speed possible to get out. And maybe the most important part is identifying drivers that are faster than you, letting them pass and copying their racing lines. This is a great way to learn how others do it, especially if they're a lot faster and you can keep up with them for a little while. Then you'll always learn new braking points, the way they corner, so pay attention to faster drivers, don't get in their way, but try to learn from them as much as you can. Some of the challenges that you may face. So any track can bring a new sort of corner. If you don't know how to take it, do some research. Figure out how others do it and try to do it yourself. There's plenty of videos on YouTube, and maybe by the time you watch this video, I've already tried out some tips on how to take certain corners, so be sure to check out the rest of my channel. And then there's the usual challenges, which may be a bit more difficult since it's your first time on a track. For example, on the track I'm using for this video, my first session was quite difficult because of a guy who didn't want to get out of the way. I made a full video analyzing his behavior and how to deal with it, so be sure to check out that video on my channel as well. Then, because you're going on a Sunday afternoon, there's always really bad drivers too. They call them NPCs, jokingly, but it's not to be too mean. There will be a lot of drivers who've never driven before. They will be crashing into the corners, you will be under a yellow flag half of your session sometimes. So keep your chin up and look at this as an opportunity to take the time to explore the track, but also how to overtake people on the track itself, because you will be wanting to overtake the faster drivers, but then you need to know where, and you can practice this the best with slower drivers because you're doing it more frequently. So thanks for watching the full video. If you have any more questions, be sure to let me know in the comments, and have a good one, guys. Bye bye.